Now we'll hear from Tess Rowland, the National President of Mothers Against Drunk Driving. MADD is a valued partner in the fight to end impaired driving-related crashes, and Tess will share her personal experience as a victim of a drunk driver. While her experience is harrowing, she has bravely decided to lend her voice to this cause. Thank you for being with us today, Tess.
Thank you. Thank you, Kathy, for inviting me to share my story. And thank you, of course, to Senator Markey, who's joining virtually, Mary and Matt, for your work to ensure safer roads for all of us. Deputy Chief Rodriguez, I also want to take a moment to especially thank you and all law enforcement leaders who make traffic safety enforcement a priority. We know that people drive while impaired because they can. Your high visibility presence and enforcement tells drivers that their choice to drive impaired will not be tolerated. So on behalf of the victims and survivors that MADD serves every day, thank you. I believe that life is full of magic moments, our hopes, our dreams. If you blink, you just might miss them. Victims and survivors of someone's choice to drive impaired know how a magic moment can turn tragic in the blink of an eye. As MADD's national president, I'm here to be a voice for them, those who were taken from us and those who spend every day recovering from the traumatic physical and psychological injuries caused by an impaired driving crash. I'll never know why a tragic moment came to be for me in my life, but one thing is for sure, I wouldn't be able to be here today and alive without the incredible response of law enforcement and EMS. I was living my dream as a TV news reporter in Panama City Beach, Florida. On May 4th, 2021, I woke up thinking it would be just another Tuesday morning. Getting up at 2 a.m. was my new normal since being promoted to the morning news shift. It was an easy commute to the TV station because hardly anyone was on the road at 3 a.m. It was dark and it was quiet, and then all of a sudden, I saw bright headlights, and I had no time to react. I still see those headlights coming at me, and it's a nightmare. I wonder if it will ever go away. The total impact of the crash was over 50 miles per hour, and to this day, first responders are in awe that I'm alive. After the crash, I was unconscious, but officers on the scene told me my knee had been shattered by the dashboard and the engine of the car was just inches away from me. Local police found empty beer cans as well as THC and cannabis in the driver's car. I later found out the drunk driver was visiting the Panama City Beach area from Tennessee, and he had just got done celebrating his 22nd birthday earlier that night. I was 22 too. In that instant, my entire world turned upside down and has never been the same since. I had 4 emergency surgeries upon being admitted to the hospital. And fortunately, the lower portion of my leg was able to be saved, but it would require surgery to fix my knee. I also suffered complex fractures to my elbow, arm, and shoulder. After several difficult surgeries, they discovered internal injuries. So in addition to rehabilitating my entire right side, I also had to reform my diet to enable healing. Being able to walk on my own would take 4 to 6 months. My shoulder fracture was so bad, it truly required a total shoulder replacement. I can no longer hold a TV camera or even zip up my own dress. To date, I've had 7 surgeries, I have 4 large scars, metal in my entire right side, and the saddest part is that it is just a matter of time until I will need more surgeries. I found out earlier this year that my shoulder is still broken, so surgery number 8 may be a lot closer than I thought. Simply because one person made a choice, my entire life has been impacted beyond measure. I received an outpouring of support from family and the Panama City Beach community, but who really gave me the motivation to keep on living after the bandages were gone were local law enforcement officers who've become more like family. I always like to give a shout out to Lieutenant Jason King with the Florida Highway Patrol. He encouraged me to channel my pain into purpose. A purpose that could help save the lives of countless others. And this saved my life and showed me a new future and a new mission, simply because one law enforcement officer took the time and invested it in me. My life's work led me here. I know that despite all of our collective efforts, this 100% preventable crime continues to take a life every 39 minutes in this country. That is 37 people a day and over 13,000 lives a year. The past 3 years, drunk driving deaths have increased by 31%. This has to stop. There are laws that states can pass right now to help stop this crisis on our roads, and the Advocates' Roadmap to Safety report tells us what proven measures can be put in place. These laws, such as requiring all convicted drunk drivers to install an ignition interlock on their cars, and making it illegal to have an open container of alcohol in a vehicle, and of course lowering state BAC laws to 0.05 are backed by research and data. They work, and we need government at all levels to embrace what works. That starts with every state enacting the life-saving laws spotlighted in this report to combat impaired driving. The report comes at a time when at the national level, we are anxiously waiting to see the U.S. Department of Transportation fulfill the highway and vehicle safety provisions in the bipartisan infrastructure bill signed into law 2 years ago. Among them is the most significant legislative victory in MAD's history in terms of lives that will be saved and injuries that will be prevented. Known as the HALT Act, the provision requires the USDOT's National Highway Traffic Safety Administration to issue a new motor vehicle safety standard that will lead to systems in all new cars that prevent impaired driving, saving more than 10,000 lives per year. It's urgently important that the impaired driving technology rulemaking is completed by the November 2024 deadline so that automakers can integrate the technology into new cars as early as 2026. We cannot afford any delays. As someone whose life was forever changed by a drunk driver, I cannot overstate how important it is that USDOT, NHTSA, and governments at all levels prioritize road safety. While I know change won't happen overnight, I know that because of the work of traffic safety champions here today and those who work tirelessly every day for safer roads, we are getting closer to a world of no more victims. Together, we will save more lives and create more magic moments, so no family or person ever has to experience the inexplicable pain and anguish that comes when these moments are stolen right before your eyes. Thank you.